And we're back with video number 2. I'm sorry guys, my camera only holds about a half hour's worth of stuff. And I knew this video was going to be longer than a half an hour just due to the subject. So I'm going to let Amy go ahead and wrap up whatever she was saying.
So basically, we are dealing with it the best way that we can. And I don't completely agree with not trying at home just to keep their fluency and comprehension and understanding up. I do agree that it could be at a lesser rate because the amount is overwhelming. I mean, really, as parents, we could play counting games and
Sheriff,
read the recipe
packet.
with me and,
Your paper packet.
you know, let's read a book together. So much simpler maybe, but then I'm also looking at it as, you know, an educated person going, there's a whole lot more detail that has to go in for the continuation of education. I'm looking at my kid's handwriting going, oh, this is why you need to keep writing. You know, there's a lot of information like that in the way that I feel about the situation that I think is a bit better than it is worse. But I also, like I said, I agree that it's very stressful. It's not easy. It is difficult. And my hat's off to all those educators, and it always has been and it always will be, because I lack the patience, but I'm still trying.
Now, what I have in my hand right here is a packet for a 5th grader, right? This is supposedly I think this is just, no, this is all of them. Language and all that stuff. This is the packet of work that in a month's time they want him to do. Okay, now I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot. It's about, I'd say it's 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick. Now, the thickness isn't why I brought it up here. The reasoning is there is very little instruction on what to do on every one of these pages. It's instructions like solve the problems. That's the instruction we're getting out of these packets. If I don't know how you want me to solve the problem, I can't very well solve the problem. And then if I do solve the problem in a way that you don't want me to solve the problem, that causes a problem. It's one thing after the next. And they, you know, again, I'm not slighting the teachers at all. I am slighting the flawed system. They need to, there is a educational system, it's called K through 12.
The online is just K-12.
Or K-12, sorry, K-12. And they have the curriculums for homeschooling, they have everything already in place. And the actual system is pretty good. If they were to do something along those lines, it would make this 10 times easier. Now, also involved is the stress factor.
These worksheets give me migraines.
They give me migraines just looking at them. The stress factor involved is my biggest problem. Everybody, the United States has been put under such a stressful situation. And I know you've heard me and I've talked about suicide and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into a big spiel about suicide. But suicide rates are up. Drug usage is at an all-time high because people don't know how to deal with stress. Alcohol, like liquor stores and stuff, are overwhelmed because of the amount of stress that everybody's under. So yes, it's a very stressing, very trying time. And this just adds more stress to an already stressful situation. That's my point. Amy actually agrees with me on that, which is, you know, we don't see eye to eye a lot as far as the education goes.
No, I still see it as very stressful.
The education system is very flawed at best to begin with. And then to, you know, since when, I don't know about you guys, but back in my day, when we went to school, we learned stuff like home economics, how to cook, how to sew. We learned how to balance a checkbook, how to manage money. These kids don't learn that stuff anymore. It's all about pushing them through on standardized testing. That needs fixed. It is a broken system. There are kids that don't even know how to use a rotary telephone. There are kids, and there's videos of it on the internet.
Yeah.
There's kids that don't know how to do anything but hit a button to reheat something in the microwave. That is a flawed system. That is a failed system, and it needs fixed. This is my point. We as citizens and as parents owe it to our kids to fix the system, or we are setting them up for failure. Educators are doing what they're told. I can't stress that enough. It's not the teacher's fault. It comes from way up, and that's where it needs change. I'm not saying go out and start a riot because your kids aren't learning what they need to learn. I'm saying make it known, stretch your legs a little, run your voice a little, that the system's flawed and it needs fixed. Is it going to get fixed right now immediately? No. I don't expect them to. We got to battle this thing to get rid of it so we can put our kids back into school. But even after we put them back into school, they need to learn stuff that's going to let them live as productive adults, not as standardized testing robots. So, that's what I'm going to say. I mean, that's how I feel about it. And common knowledge stuff that they can use, job trades, get them, start preparing them for college. Don't just throw them in and say, here you go, because college is nothing like public school. And the entire point in sending them to public or private school is to prepare them to go to college, to prepare them to pick a career, to train them and teach them for said career, and let them go out and be useful additions to society. The next generation that's going to take over. As of right now, the next generation that's going to take over was told about this virus and by the hundreds of thousands partying on a beach.
Yeah.
Because, I have no sense of circumstance and consequence. I have, that virus isn't real. We're just going to party away. Well, if I get the virus, I get sick, and well, fuck all of you. That's the attitudes we're getting. And we've unfortunately put that in place.
Yeah, let's just say that's trickling down into our kids, and we are not raising them that way.
It needs to be fixed. Which brings me to the only other thing that I'm going to discuss in this video, and then I'm going to get off, is the way we teach our kids and the way things have changed. Back when I went to school, you got a first place ribbon, a second place ribbon, and a last place ribbon. If you were running track and field, or you were in a spelling bee, it didn't matter. If you won, you won. If you lost, you lost. There was no participation trophies. Maybe teaching these kids that to be your best, you have to push yourself and make yourself the best, instead of here's your trophy for participating, thanks for playing, you got the same dumb award that everybody else did. That is just the biggest flaw in society that I can see, and it's going to be our downfall.
And I've actually had experience of going in and speaking to my kids' teachers, especially in elementary school.
Don't give them participation trophies.
And I tell them, I was like, don't reward them for just trying.
No.
And their teacher looks at me and is like, huh? It's like, no. We don't raise our kids
Win or
to
lose.
where
Fail.
they get that whole like, oh, you tried. I mean, support them for trying, but at the same time,
Oh,
if
you
they're
lost.
not gonna pass,
You lost the Little League World Series. Let's go get ice cream and pizza.
yeah. If they're
No,
not
you
gonna
lost. You lost.
Basically, if they're not gonna pass, don't pass them. I was literally looking at this with my second grader this year. His abilities have like depleted, and we don't know why. We were looking into it right before the whole pandemic started, trying to figure out what's going on with him and why he's having so many problems. But I had to seriously consider having him repeat the second grade. And if it wasn't going to get any better for him, I was going to do it. And my child's been made very well aware of this. All of my children have. I will make them repeat the grade if they have to, because they're not trying on their own. They need to feel like they can, and it's up to them to provide for themselves eventually. That's just one of the ways that I can teach them.
So, well, guys, I'm gonna wrap up that video here. I know it's not my normal video, but it had to be addressed, and I've got some interest in people wondering how I see it. So there you go. That's how our lives are affected by this directly, and it's difficult at best. So take away with it what you want, and let me know how you guys are handling the homeschooling thing. Let me see. Put the comments down below. I want to read these comments. I want to know how other people are contending with this, as well as what you're doing to make it work. If you have a two-parent household that are both essential employees and have children that are school age, let me know how that's going for you. I'm curious. I want to know if my speculation is completely just out there and wrong, or if I'm hitting the nail on the head. I'm very, very interested in that. So, guys, I didn't want to bring a downer subject today, but it's better than everything else that's been on the news. I promise you that. So, guys, get healthy, get happy, and look for my cook video. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.